Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Rewind that. It's your girl, Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe, guys. And hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. I hope you guys can hear me. It seems to be that I'm in a very terrible location. I'm looking at the bars on my phone going up and down. 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars. So I'm hoping that this review will be successful because I'm trying to get it in where I could fit it in. You know, my schedule has been very busy. I've been going through a few things, which is, seems to be very befitting for me to be discussing this movie, Straw, which I saw, I think I forgot what day it was, but I saw it, I think, over the weekend. Can you guys hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me clearly. Okay. You may hear some background noise or some trucks going by and things like that, but I need to know if you can hear me so that I could continue and talk about this daggone movie. Okay. It is a spoiler review. And no, I'm not going to be going over scene by scene and all that stuff. I'm on my lunch break, so got to keep it moving along. All right, so guys, my daughter, she told me, listen, you need to watch that movie. All right, fine. Listen, first of all, thank you, Erica and Stephen Harris. Hi, and Demarcus Vaughn. Hey guys. So listen, Tyler Perry, I used to be a very big fan of his work. Nowadays, not so much. I feel like he's become very raunchy. He lost his way as a Christian and things like that. So I can't really get with him and his work and the stuff that he does. However, Taraji, I feel like she's a phenomenal actress. And so I did want to give her a chance. Right. I wanted not her a chance. I did want to give the movie a chance. I just wasn't in a rush. So one day, I finally had some time and I put it on because my daughter was saying, you should watch it. And I didn't watch it. I didn't have the time to watch it when she was suggesting for me to. So I finally watched it. My sister was telling me that, watch it. You're going to cry and all this. I'm like, first of all, I don't watch stuff so I could cry. There's enough tears going on in the world. There's enough problems. I don't need to be watching anything that I know is going to make me cry. So that's not a seller for me. If you want to tell me that something going to make me cry or it's going to be some tear jerking stuff, that's not me. Make me laugh, make me think a little bit. Okay, fine, but not cry. I ain't trying to cry. So anyway, time is going on and I finally watched this movie. And by the time I was done watching it, when my daughter found out I was watching it, she came into my bedroom and she was watching it with me. Don't know why she was doing this, but then I found out that, she needed to see my reaction to a specific part of that movie. And I'm just going to jump right ahead into that part, right? And talk about the part where Janaya is on the phone with her mom while she's at the bank, and her mom tells her that her daughter died last night. And I said, "What?" I was like, "No, no, 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 no. Like this girl done been through hell. Like we're watching her literally go through hell this whole day, and then to hear that her daughter died." And it was like, what? Like you're doing all this and your daughter winds up dying. But then they said last night, and I'm like, wait, what? First of all, when she said your daughter died, I immediately was like, oh my gosh. And I said, I hate Tyler Perry. I hate Tyler Perry. That was the one thing that came out of my mouth. And my daughter started laughing. And my son was telling me after I watched it, he was saying that he wanted to tell me not to watch it without reacting to it, because it's the type of movie that you need to react. Like if you're someone who does reactions like I do on my other channel, then you need to react to it. And he didn't catch me in time. But anyway, guys, so let's get into this real quick. Okay, let me get my paper. Where did it go? This way so that I don't lose any. I really hope that I did not leave that paper in. I'm gonna be so upset if I left that in my. Okay, here it is, because I thought I left it inside my office. Okay. So we're watching this woman named Janiyah, who is very timid. Okay, she's like a little scaredy cat, things of that nature. You can tell. I mean, by the time the movie, as the movie goes along, you're getting these little breadcrumbs or these clues that she was an abused woman. She didn't have the best relationship with her mom and her sister. Well, I don't know for a fact for sure, but she made a comment saying that they're crazy. She doesn't want her daughter to stay with them. Okay, so maybe there was some mistreatment there. We know that when she was talking to the bank teller, I'm sorry, not the bank teller, Sherry Shepard's character, the bank manager, I think her name was Nicole. When she was talking to her, she was asking her, "Is your husband good to you? Is he kind?" And the fact that she asked that question was a sure indicator that she was abused, by her baby father, because she was like, you have to really be careful who you have a child with. What's up, J Mac? Yeah, you have to be careful who you have a child with and all that stuff. So you can tell that she's been abused. She's been through a lot of hell. She doesn't make a lot of money. She's working two jobs, even though in the movie I don't recall seeing her go to her second job. She just was at that first job because it was just that one day. We see her get up and take her daughter to school. We see her in the very beginning, we saw her like walking through the hospital hallway, carrying her daughter. Okay. And I guess they just let us see that and then went on with the movie. We find out exactly what that was all about by the end, right? With that crazy twist. So, what's up, starring Toya? Yes, please, everyone, like the video. Thank you so very much. So you have that going on. She's scrambling to get her daughter ready, wash her up, take her to school. She owes the landlord rent. The landlord is a horrible woman. We can see that. No sympathy, no nothing. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. I want my money or your stuff gonna be out on the street. This and that. Okay. So then we get to the job where she drops her daughter off at school. We get to the job. Oh, before that, um, her daughter tells her that she her teacher be calling her out in front of everybody and saying, why don't you have the money for your lunch and all that? She needs $40 and things of that nature. And Janai is like, why is she saying that? She be saying that in front of everybody, and her daughter's like, yeah. So we know that she wants to get that money. So throughout this whole movie, guys, her main her main goal throughout this whole movie was to cash her check early so that she can get the $40 to her daughter's school. That was her main objective of the whole movie, right? Little did we know, though, right? Little did we know that this woman was dealing with some type of temporary insanity, and she was having major delusions. Okay, this whole day. The only thing delusional about this day was the fact that her daughter was still in existence. So the whole goal to get the money to the school and all that stuff, that was a delusion because her daughter died the night before. So the daughter died the night before from a seizure. She went home and slept without her, but woke up in this state of temporary insanity, in this state of delusion where she still sees her daughter. Her daughter's still there. So she's clearly in some serious denial. And she's washing her up. And it's showing all of the playback of how the principal from the school, because I'm looking at it like when the child protective services, because I'm gonna be all over the place, y'all. When the child protective services took the child, I'm looking at the principal like, what is going on? Why are you doing this? Why are you acting like a jerk? Like, why is everybody a jerk in this movie? Everybody. And I'm like, the lady, clearly the lady being Janiyah is not someone who abuses her child. Like, you can't hear her out. You calling child protective services. Come to find out, child protective services was never called. Janiyah was over here having a whole bunch of delusions. It was actually, I think, a bill collector or something like that that called her, and she over there telling her boss that she got to leave work. Her boss was horrible. He was a jerk. I mean, everybody that she ran into was like a straight a-hole. And I was like, what the heck is going on? You know, the people at her job, like the people on the line, the guy who threw the bottle at her feet and everything and broke the glass. I'm like, this is crazy. So then she tells her boss that she has to go because it's her daughter's school. I'm sorry, I gotta go. Can I please have my check? He like, no, like the heck, you're not getting your check. And he said, but you better be here in 30 minutes. And she's telling him that's not possible. But she still has to leave anyway. So now she's on her way. She's trying to get to the school. Um, I think at this time, when she gets to the school, that's when she finds out they took her child. Then she's leaving. Look, I might have the events all mixed up. Doesn't matter. Okay. Because the whole point is she went to school, child was taken. Between that time, it starts raining and she gets in the car. She sees that and I'm not sure which came first, guys. Like I said, the landlord puts her stuff out. Like, how did you have time like, how much time has passed by, though, on the real? How much time passed by between when Janiyah left this morning to take her daughter to school and go to work, then came back, and your stuff is all out of the apartment? The baby's medicine was out there, everything. I mean, it was sad. And she was just crying and crying. And I'm not sure if that was the scene where I started crying. I'm not sure. I don't think that was the scene where I started crying. There was a scene, and I forgot what it was, where she started crying. And I started crying. And I was like, I don't think this is a good idea for me to be watching this because as you guys can see, you've seen my absence. I haven't been around. I haven't been covering anything because I've been going through my own stuff, right? And this time, normally, guys, when I was going through my stuff, I was always here on not social media, on YouTube. I was always here because that was my outlet, that was my way. But I've gone into such a place where I can't even do anything anymore but just get up and go to work and work these two jobs and try to do everything I can. And I'll explain a little more later. But I said, I don't think this is a good idea for me to be watching this. But I stuck it out nonetheless. Stuck it out, continued to watch. And so now we get to the scene where she's almost ran off the road, or she is ran off the road by an off-duty cop who is oh my gosh, horrible person. Definitely wants to abuse his power, just very hateful for whatever reason. All right. And he's like, oh, that bee is mine. You're mine. Like, for what? Like, because she did something, and made a mistake and had him like crash his car or almost crash his car, whatever it was. What, you know what I'm saying? Y'all saw it. So now he runs her off the road. He comes to her and he says, I'm going to, because another cop, a cop who was on duty, an on duty officer, she comes and she's like, I need your license, registration, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And she says, she's trying, like, I really need to go, whatever. So the guy comes and he says, I'm going to find a way to legally blow your brains off, or your brains out when I see you again. And like straight up threatens her. And I said, oh my gosh, this is not good, because I knew that was going to come back. That didn't just happen for no reason. And I'm like, yeah, of course, in Tyler Perry fashion, if he wants something to be major, he's gonna OD a little bit on it. And that's no disrespect to him, because I'm obviously, if you want to paint the picture of somebody having the worst day ever, as a writer, you might go to the extreme, because it does need to paint this picture of, the movie is called Straw, and it sounds like it's bringing somebody to the brink of breaking, you know what I'm saying? Or that's being the last straw, you know what I'm saying? The straw that broke the camel's back, all that type of stuff. So you're thinking like, yeah, all these terrible things have to happen in order for this woman to lose her mind. However, we don't know right now, in this moment where her card's about to get impounded and all that stuff, we don't know that she's already in her delusion. She's already in her state of temporary insanity. She's already lost her mind. We don't know that yet, right? But anyway, so this guy, he's telling her that, the cop, and the lady cop is like, get out of here. Like, you're doing a lot right now. I got this. Please back up. So Janiyah was like, I can't get a ticket. She tried to get in the car, close the door. The lady cop was like, listen, don't close this door. Do not drive off. Okay. Because I'm trying to take it easy on you. You want me to call him back here? Because I'm sure you don't. So that's what happened with that. The lady, Janiyah tried to plead with her, please don't do that, whatever. It didn't work out. Okay. Um, so like I said, guys, Janiyah's whole existence in this movie was to cash her check to get that $40. When she gets back to the job, her boss is telling her that she's fired because she tried to get right back on the line, but he was like, no, she'll help you over there. Like, this dude was so horrible that he was willing to cut his nose off to spite his face. Like, here comes another worker, an extra worker. Like, it's mad busy in this store, and Janiyah's back, and you decide to send the customer to somebody else's register. Yeah, he said he called somebody else in, but you clearly need more employees there. You need more workers there, as busy as that place was. I would hate to go to that store. To be honest with you, I probably wouldn't even bother to go to a store like that. I hate, if a store is always busy and crowded, I'm not going there. I'm not, unless I really, really have to. It was the one place that had what I needed, but for the most part, I'm not shopping there. I will drive out probably 10 extra miles or maybe even 20 to shop somewhere else that has more peace, because that's not peaceful. Anyway, so um now she goes to the back with him, and he's like, you're fired and all of that. Like, I told you to be back here, whatever. She said, no, please, you can't fire me, and I need this job, this and that. So a robbery happens, and we saw what transpired. The dude tried to like hit Janiyah with his blicky, and I think he did. And she wound up tussling with him and taking the gun from him and shooting him. And so the boss, played by Glenn something, I forgot his last name, Thurman, I think. I don't remember. So anyway, he's like, oh, you set this up. I'm calling on, he knew your name. He knew my name because he saw my freaking tag. What are you talking about? He knew my name. Yeah, he knew my name. What are you, stupid? Like, he's reading my freaking name tag, you dummy. How you gonna put all of that together? And then looking at Janiyah, the type of woman that she is, right? She's very timid. You think that she can't even stand up to you. You think she put this whole robbery together and then shoots and kills the guy that comes in to rob the place? Like, really? You think she would do that? You think she's capable of that? Like, come on now. It was just so stupid, right? So when she shot him, I'm not gonna say I was glad, because I kind of wanted him to suffer a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Not say suffer like um he has to suffer in pain, but like, because of just how mean he was, like, there needed to be some type of consequence for the way he was treating her and mishandling her. So for me, you just deleted this dude, and it was a quick death and everything, and just like, he was a jerk. I just don't feel like he deserved that, but pretty sure she sent him to hell, so maybe it is okay. Um but she shoots and kills the boss because he over there calling the cops and talking about how her name is Janiyah, she set this whole thing up and all this and that. It was just like, oh my gosh. So she's so out of it that she just deletes two people, goes across the street to the bank where she tried to go to earlier, and they I guess they were closing. They closed. I forgot exactly what happened. The line, no, they weren't closing. The line was like too busy or something like that, and she didn't have time. So it was like she had to come back. So by the time she came back, they were closing, and the security guard was closing it. But Sherry Shepard's character, I think her name is Nicole, so I'm gonna try to call her Nicole, Nancy or Nicole, but I think it's Nicole. She was like, it's okay, let her in, because she's familiar with Janiyah. Janiyah always comes there. We come to find out later on that she's the reason why Janiyah opened the bank account there. Because she was always going to the check cashing place, and they were, taking her money with the little fees and everything. So she said, open up an account here, whatever. So she goes there. She goes up to this teller named Tessa, and Tessa's like, oh, I can't. First of all, there's blood on the check. Okay. And Tessa's like, oh, do you have kids? Because people over here come, kids always spilling stuff on whatever. Okay. You don't see that that's blood, but okay. So she's like, oh, I can't cash the check because you don't have your ID. Because I guess she must have left her ID either in her car or back at the store. I don't remember. Okay. She don't have her ID though. So Jania's like, no, please, I come here all the time. You know me. You know me. Why you act like you don't know me? You know what I mean? So now the lady comes, so she pulls a gun out and she's like, I need you to cash that check. Because first they looking at it like this is a robbery. And Tessa over here trying to give all the money. And Jania's like, I don't need this. I just need my check cash, $541 or whatever. It might be 541. I don't know. I need my check cash. This and that and the third. Just give me my check. That's it. So, they alerted everybody and all this. So now it's all over the news. We have one of the other bank tellers. She's recording it. So there's the whole conversation that's going on between Tiana Taylor's character, uh officer, oh my gosh, detective, I forgot. But she's talking, she's had like a good eye for this whole situation from the start. Like she realized that no, it's not what it looks like. It looks like she was there while they were trying to rob the place and she got scared and deleted thank you, DeMarcus, Detective Raymond, and deleted the person because she got scared. And the same thing with the boss. So and let me also say hi to Faith and Family Reviews. And Stephen Harris, I'm going to get your comment in a minute. So, yeah, she's like having a good rapport right now and a connection with Detective Raymond because Detective Raymond has showed her that she's been there. She knows what it's like and all that stuff. She'd watched her mom struggle. She let her mom know that she understood and she loved her and this and that. And she comes from a single parent home and all that stuff. She understands the struggle. And it was touching a little too close for home for Detective Raymond, which is why the guy, the negotiator, he allowed her to do it because he was like, oh, she's doing real good. But when she was getting too personal with her, he said, come on now, bring it back now. Take it another way. But anyway, then we had the FBI take over and they was on some nonsense. And it was like, they didn't like that. The cops didn't like that. The FBI was taking over because of the fact that they're not going to have that same goal, which is the safety of Janiyah. They're not going to care about her living through this. They're just going to want to bust up in there and just end the whole thing, period. So anyway, it's on the news, it's streaming everywhere. Protesters are coming out and like they like free Janiyah, like they got her back, they're being supportive, this and that and the third. They could hear her struggles all on the phone, while she's talking to Detective Raymond. And also she mentions the cop because she's like, listen, I don't have a problem with coming out there. She don't have a problem with freeing the hostages, but I'm not coming out until y'all find that officer who told me he was gonna delete me. He told me the next time he see me, he's gonna find a legal reason to blow my head off. And that was my main thing. I was so afraid of that because I was like, yeah, if they don't get him, he's definitely gonna shoot. Like all these guns being raised when she comes out and he sees he's gonna definitely. So I loved when they finally tracked him down. And when Detective Raymond found out about it, she turned that ninja around and boom, cold cocked him like just straight sucker. I would say sucker punched, but it was the best sucker punch ever. He needed that. Okay, he needed that. And he was like, what happened? They caught that on camera too, I think. Like, what happened? And she was like, you know what you did? Tell him what you did, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So they got him removed off the premises because they had the other the other officer confirm, the situation and who it was and everything. And so I'm like, yeah, thank you. Get him the heck out of here. Okay. But by the time we find out that Janiyah's daughter is dead and she was dead this whole time and then she kind of got brought back to reality, I was like, I don't think Janiyah is going to live through this. She's probably going to wind up doing something and really losing it because now she doesn't have anything to live for. She already had a heartfelt conversation with Nicole, the bank manager, and was saying, listen, can you please keep my baby for me? And the bank manager was like, yes, I'll do that. So that's my thing. I'm like, I'm over here thinking she ain't gonna make it. So because of Tessa, the most annoying, one of the most annoying characters in this movie, that bank teller, the one that kept crying, oh my God, I'm so scared. And I get it. I'm not making fun of her for crying. I'm doing that because I don't like her. And she couldn't bring herself to sympathize or even empathize with Janiyah and her story. And the older lady that Janiyah wound up letting her go because her diabetes, she looked like she was having like a diabetic emergency. She let her go. She's like, okay, yeah, let her go, let her go, let her get out. That lady was saying, I will hope the best for you and everything. And it's going to be okay, blah, blah, blah. And then that elderly lady, and she was saying like to Tessa, because they was like, Tessa was like, why are you guys like basically being nice to her, you know? And it was like the older lady was like, how could you not, after hearing her story and everything that's going on? How could you not? Like, I don't see any person in their right mind that could listen to this lady's story and everything that she's been going through and not have any sympathy and not have a heart. And it was crazy because I'm like, he always got one of them type of douchebags in his movie. He always have that same type of character. And I'm not throwing shots, but I just wasn't surprised that this chick wouldn't let up for nothing. And then when they found out that what she had in her with her daughter's little science project, when they found out it wasn't a bomb. Yo, Tessa goes right to the bathroom and draws on the window, bomb not real. At this time, I'm like, first of all, why you had to do that? So I didn't understand why she shouldn't have done that, but it was still annoying to me because I knew it was going to be a problem because she was the only one that wasn't sympathetic towards Janiyah's plight. Okay? So for me, I just knew it was going to be a problem. I didn't understand it though. Nicole let us know why this was the issue. So, because Janiyah saying, oh my gosh, y'all thought this was a bomb. It's not a bomb. That's what they think too. Please tell them. We got to tell them it's not a bomb. We got to tell them. We got to tell them. Nicole was like, no, we can't tell them that because the fact that they think that it's a bomb is the only thing that's keeping them from storming in here, right? It's keeping you alive right now. So if they find out it's not a bomb, yeah, and I don't want you to get hurt. So I'm like, oh my freaking gosh, this damn chick Tessa is getting on my nerves. Okay. So once they found that out, you already know that the lead guy on the FBI, he was already ready to go in, even after Detective Raymond had already spoke to Janiyah and got her to, be willing to surrender and everything because she let her know we got the guy. She came in, she took a picture of him, showed it to Janiyah and everything, said he was all ready to go. But then the FBI guy, he was like, it doesn't matter. So they stormed in. So we thought they didn't. They showed them storming in and all of that. Okay, so I understand the whole thing about her having delusions that her daughter was still alive, this and the third. I understand all that. But why they had to show the FBI storming in and Janiyah getting shot and whatnot. Why they had to show that if that didn't really happen? It's like, oh my gosh. That was so annoying to me. Anyway, maybe that was the worst case scenario. That was the fear that Nicole had and all that. And she was probably frantic and we kind of got a glimpse of Nicole's mind real quick. I don't know, right? But anyway, she successfully, they let the two hostages out, the two that were left, the bank tellers, they let them out. And then Janiyah, not Janiyah, Nancy was like, I'm staying, not Nancy, Nicole was like, I'm staying. I'm going to stay with her. I'm going to walk out with her. So they walked out together holding hands. She was like, put your hands up. And Detective Raymond was like, Janiyah, follow, just back up, turn around, follow my voice, this and that, put your hands up, whatever. So they put the cuffs on her and they put her in the back of the police car and drove away. And she was able to see all those people supporting her. Now, listen, this woman's daughter has died. Everything that means anything to her in the world has died. But this is such an important scene because of the fact that she's never had any kind of support ever in life. No one's ever been nice to her. No one's ever showed that they've cared, all this stuff. So for her to see a whole bunch of people coming out, hundreds of people gathered out protesting and things of that nature, talking about free Janaya, this and that. I'm pretty sure that it did her heart some good and gave her some kind of hope. You know what I mean? It gave her some kind of hope, and I don't know why that's making me feel a tiny bit emotional. But my daughter asked me what I would give this movie, and I said I would give it an 8 because normally, if a movie's ending is not to my liking, I don't give it anything higher than an 8. Like if it was a good movie, but the ending wasn't good, I don't really go too high with that. I mean, to 8 is a high. 8 is high though. It's an 8 because I was locked in. It's an 8 because Taraji, phenomenal, great job as an actress. It's an 8 because Tiana Taylor, she did the damn thing. It's an 8 because Sherry Shepherd, like if this were some type of Oscar worthy performance, Sherry Shepherd, Taraji can get um what do you call that? She could get Best Actress, and um Sherry Shepherd and Tiana Taylor could possibly be in the running for supporting actresses. And this might be a stretch to some people, but I'm just saying that if it were Oscar worthy, and they were up for that, because the performances were just they were amazing. And seeing Tiana's emotions when she was talking to Janaya over the phone, and you see how stuff was hitting home for her and how it was kind of hard to disconnect in that moment to be the detective. She went back to that place where she's probably this little girl, and you know what I mean? And I think that Tiana did so good with that. So that's why I feel like, yeah. And then Sherry Shepherd, like her performance was just so great as well, because she was so supportive and trying. Like people in that bank was being stupid. A lot of people had to go, like, get the heck, just get out. You know what I'm saying? Because they were not making it better. But Sherry Shepherd, her character really showed a lot of strength, and she was just very calm, as if she's been through this before. She knew exactly what the heck to do. She was really trying not to show fear. She was being brave. She was talking calm. She wasn't trying to agitate uh Janaya and all of that. So it was really, really good. Very, very good acting. So that's why it gets an 8, for me. It could get a 9, but like I said, I did not like the ending. I didn't like the fact that the daughter died. you know yeah, I just didn't like that. I just kind of felt like this woman Janaya that we're watching, she's been through enough. Like, why would we add that on there? Okay, but stuff happens. It's a reality. Stephen Harris says, one important thing I've learned from this movie is when that granny told Janaya that in any situation you're going through, there is someone facing the worst. Okay, right. Yeah. Demarcus says Janaya reminded me of TT from Set It Off. Yeah, with that like timid type of attitude. Yes. Taraji reaction is comedy gold, and what? And Sherry and Tiana are loving it. Hi, Nisi, Miss Nisi. Okay. So, guys, that's going to be that for me. I got to get ready to go. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed the movie. I needed to get this review out soon, because if I don't, I'm just going to keep going through my days without hitting y'all with something. I do want to review the latest episode. I think that was episode 4. I'm not sure. But yeah. So what's going on with me? Quick. I don't know how many people are going to see this video, so I'm probably going to have to, you know, say it again. I have decided I need to take care of my health. Okay. I've decided to leave both my jobs to go on an FMLA leave for 6 weeks. So I won't be working on none of my jobs for 6 weeks. I've been going through, I guess you could say, depression and some anxiety, and my blood pressure has been going crazy. It's dropped low, I think, within the last month or two. Was that April? I fainted. Y'all know about that. I had to go to the hospital for fainting 2 times. Blood pressure was low. No reason or explanations for it. And then I went to the cardiologist last week. Blood pressure was 180 over 90 something. So now they got me on blood pressure medicine and some anti-fainting stuff and whatever. And I'm taking my asthma medicine again. And that's what's happening. And I had to realize, because I just literally had to run out of my job on last Thursday because I felt like I was going to have a nervous breakdown. I had to run to my car and I started bawling, okay? Bawling. Because I just been through a lot in the past 2 years, and I been trying to be strong, and I just think that everything that's going on is just taking a toll on me. I just been feeling like I'm gonna break sometimes. And I thought I was doing good in just um handling it, but I guess not, because it's starting to manifest through my health. And we can't have that, right? So I got to make sure that my health is good. I've been going through some serious fatigue. So when I get home from work, I'm ready to crash out. As much as I be thinking about YouTube all the time, I'm like, I don't have the energy. Like, I don't have the energy to even like take notes or rewatch. I've been watching The Shy, but I don't have the energy to take the notes or just get up in front of the camera and do all the stuff. And like I said, this is a first, because all the other times when I was going through my stuff, I was using YouTube as like an outlet. It kept me going and all that. But now even that is something that it's not, it's still an interest, but it's not helping me. And once you start losing interest in things that you love to do, that's a problem. That's a red flag, right? That's a red flag. So I'm glad that I'm educated enough in this area, mental health, all that stuff, to pay attention to certain signs. And so I have to take the necessary steps to take care of myself. And that's what I'm doing. And my leave starts next week. I think next week. Yeah, next week is my last day at work, and I won't be back until August. And during that time I am going to focus on school, but I'm also going to be back on YouTube, okay? Because I have to, like, once I'm able to get all these other stressors out of my way for a little while, focus on myself, focus on my health, get enough rest, and tend to my home and all that, I will be able to, come back. And then once I do that, I hope that through that period, 6 weeks period, that I'll um I'll continue once I go back to work. So we'll see, guys. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Stephen Harris. Thank you, Starring Toya. And who else was here? Miss Nisi. Who else? DeMarcus Vaughn, Leon Rogers, Glenn Turner. He said, okay. Thank you. Taraji P. Taraji is an awesome actress. Love her. This movie reminded me of John Q. This movie reminds me of two other movies. Right. Oh, yeah. True. True, true, true. Do what's best for you. Been there. Mental health is serious. Yes, it is. Thank you. I appreciate you all. All right, guys. If you're new here, NJ Mack was here too, and Rashonda Greer. Hi. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Until next time, take care and be blessed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.